Good evening. This is David Lynn, and you're here for Coffee Talk. Welcome, KP Heathen and the Black Widow. Hope y'all are doing good. I posted 3 shorts today, and they're all doing great. They all doing great. The one I posted about an hour ago has 180, about 180 views. The other 2 each have 450 or so, and doing real well. Hello, the Bud Files. Welcome. A murder case, okie doke, that you're putting together for your channel. Sounds interesting. Melinda Elliott, pre-retirement days. Welcome, my friends. So right now, I have 1,687 subscribers, inching my way towards 1,700. Right at about 21K views for the cycle. Watch time is at 487, still down, but it's coming back up. I like to be at about 600 watch hours per cycle. It's coming back up. Thank you for linking channels, Melinda. Appreciate it. So I went on to Amazon. I haven't been doing that much lately, but we're back in a new school year, and I'm trying to avoid eating the school food. For one thing, they charge almost $6 for a plate. It's not a big plate, and it's not what I consider to be the best in the world. So I've been eating this week so far Hormel Completes, different varieties or flavors of Hormel Complete. I've released a couple of them, I think, as shorts. You can see what they are. It is what it is. You get them for $2.50, $2.75 or so. They're like an 8 to 9 ounce retort pouch. You microwave it for 60 seconds. It's ready to eat. If you eat it with some crackers, it's very filling. And a drink. So, Enrique Trevino, how are you doing? And Wheelchair Girl 67. Hello, Wheelchair Girl. So I haven't been responding much to comments. I've been putting the little hearts, but I haven't been. For one thing, it's been locking me up with errors a lot of times. When I go to make a comment, I put it in a comment and I want to send it, and then it gives me an error signal. It doesn't give me an error signal when I do the heart, when I punch the heart, but when I try to leave a comment sometimes, it gives me, I'll do that a couple of times. I said, well, the hell with it, and I'll come back to it later. Um, so after I got us out of work today, because I didn't have breakfast, I had like a couple of cups of coffee. My breakfast was a couple of cups of coffee. Mid-afternoon, I had another cup of coffee to wake me up. I had my Hormel Complete with part of a Diet Coke I had left over from yesterday. This is a Pepsi Zero. And I had a Nachos Del Grande with a taco and a bean burrito. Hello, Mom of 4 boys. How are you doing? So anyway, I went on to Amazon today, and they've got Hormel Completes on sale, and you can get a 5 variety pack for $10. They're 37% marked off. So I bought 2 different variety packs. Total cost of about $25 for 10 meals. Different flavors. I got all the different flavors. One each. And I think $2.50 a piece averaging for a Hormel Complete is a good deal. Delivered. I should get them Friday. They should be here Friday. And I already have some. I'm just getting more. Sometimes when I get them, they're 6-packs. Sometimes when I get them, they're 5-packs. They come in a little case. And a lot of times what I'll do is I'll buy a particular flavor, and I'll get 5 of that flavor. But I'll buy 2 or 3 boxes, so I'm getting variety. I'm getting some variety. Now, what I just ordered today, the 2 packs that I ordered were 5 each, and each one was a different flavor. Different flavor of Hormel Complete. And I tell you what, if you were putting together your own MREs, putting one of those in your pack is a good main. It was a good main. It would be a good main. Now, with those, and you're out and about, you're not going to be able probably to microwave if you're out and about, and that's where your little camp stove with a pot and water in it, where you stick it in the pot and you heat the water and it heats the meal. So that's the way you do it when you're roughing it. And you don't have to refrigerate them. They're shelf stable. And if you keep them at a reasonable temperature, they'll last probably 8 or 10 years. And then the idea is you rotate them. So if these are active meals that I'm eating, so I rotate them. Hello, Josh. Been talking, wasn't paying attention. Josh Loftus. Welcome. Hillbilly. Smoked Cowboy. Welcome, guys. I am not paying attention. I'm talking. If I ever get to the point where I have a producer, I'll be good to go. I had been talking about doing a little 3 or 4 minute news video every day. Bradazzle, welcome. I have been talking about doing a little like a little blurb news video every day, where I talk about 2 or 3 things, just shorthanded, Talk about two or three things that I see in the news that I think is noteworthy of mentioning, and giving you my flavored opinion for what it's worth. Tell you one thing I'm interested in seeing about the upcoming election. Um, it's part of the plank on the Republican plank that if Trump gets reelected, he's going to do away with the Department of Education. He's going to do away with a couple of the departments that have secretaries. And he wants to return education to the states. Originally, Ronald Reagan back in the 80s wanted to do away with the Department of Education, but Congress was such that they didn't support him in it. It will be interesting to see if he gets reelected and he proposes that, what will happen? What will be the makeup of Congress and what will happen? You know, they're saying whether he gets reelected or not, that the Republicans are probably going to retake the Senate. They should have never lost the Senate. That was some BS involved there. And those two people that got elected in Georgia as Democrats should have never been elected. If it hadn't have been for all the crap that was going on and all the never Trumpers and all the crap that happened, uh, and some of the comments that Trump made at the time, when they had those runoff elections, um, you'd have had the Republican win. However, Herschel Walker was a weak candidate. He was a great football player, but he was a weak candidate, and he wasn't really a strong Trump supporter. He didn't run heavy on Trump. And then he had some baggage, about his illegitimate kids. When he was young, he has a couple of kids that he didn't, from baby mamas back in the days, and that hurt him. That hurt him. Yoda, my friend Yoda. I'll ask Yoda because Yoda's from Georgia. How in the devil do you explain those two socialists that got elected in the Senate in your state? I know it's a little late in the evening to be asking those kind of questions, but I don't know. My best to echo. Money, yeah, maybe. They're saying that Harris was accessing funds from the Biden campaign that she really shouldn't have been accessing. Another thing that's going to come up is that because of the way things are, and because of deadlines and timelines, there are two states supposedly that Harris will not be on the ticket in those two states. She will not be listed and able to run. So it'll be interesting to see how that comes out. It'll be interesting. Not that she was probably going to win either one of those states anyway, because the establishment in the states are Republican, and they're not going to change anything. But in their laws, based upon timelines and what has happened and the way that it's been done, she will not be able to run in the ballot in those two states. Who said what? That was in the news. It was in the news. Yeah, it will be interesting to see what happens. And Dave, be expecting something to come in the mail in the foreseeable future. I'm putting your stuff together. I will probably do a little video of what's in it, a sneak peek. And then that'll be one of it. I'm going to try to get it out before I hit 1700, so I make everybody scramble that wants to be on the that wants to be in the hat. Right now, my last video that I just released has got 28 comments. So I know that there are 28 people that want to be in that. I'm pretty sure there's about 28 people right now. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Ohio will vote Republican by at least 20 plus point, over. Now, there are a lot of people in Minnesota that are mad as the devil. They're mad at the governor. They're mad at Minneapolis and St. Paul. That's where, right now, if you look at the power structure, the Twin Cities, they're blue as can be. If you go out into the country, the rest of the place, it's pretty much red. But then you got the Twin Cities, and the Twin Cities have enough people voting that they overcome the rest of the state, and that's the reason why you've got a Democrat governor, and you get Democrat senators, and then you get nuts like Ilhan Omar and some of that squad. Um, and there was a time I could respect and I could say I support that Democrat, you know. But there aren't that many. There aren't that many of them around. They used to call them blue dog Democrats. They're very conservative, very conservative. Back in the days when Democrats were the respectable people, back in the days, and they sort of gave that one up, and they've been hijacked by the socialists. Hello, Uncle Al. But most people know my thoughts, and they know how I roll. I'm old school, and I definitely respected the old school establishment from back in the days. Work ethic, morality, um, paying your bills, Bible, gun ownership, marriage, children, traditional values. Unfortunately, I was uh, my program's been expanding, and I've got certain. So I have three people that work with me in my room. And, we talk. They're kids. They're younger people. And I will talk to them about, changes in technology. We were having some technology issues. So, and they're saying the same things I am. Technology is a blessing when it works. When it doesn't work, well, you start using expletives. And trying to make sure that everything that we use on a regular basis is working, and that the passwords are working, and the passwords have been reset, and just all of this crap about, oh, this password's going to be good for 2 months. It's not like we're guarding the gold for Fort Knox. We're not. You know. And but anyway, just talking about the way things used to be. You go into the bank and you've got a book. You've got a little book, and they open it up and they put it in the typewriter. They scroll it into the typewriter and they start typing on it. And that's how you made deposits, and that's how you made withdrawals. You know. Uh, Back in the day, you had a credit card, and that credit card was raised. It had raised, all of the characters were raised, and they'd put it in a little machine, a little flat little metal, and they'd stick it in there, and they would stick a little 3 or 4 sheet little NCR with carbons on it, and they would and it would have the name of the business, and it would have the information on the card and all this sort of stuff. And you would basically, they'd write down the amount, and you'd sign it, and it got sent in, and that's how they did like credit card purchases. And at the end of the month, you would get all of your checks, because like most of the bills, they didn't have automatic where they took it out of your account. You had to write checks. If you had a house payment, or if you had insurance payments, or you had car payments, you had utility payments, all these different things, you'd write checks for all that. You might write 8 or 10 checks a month. Nowadays, you probably don't write any checks. You have direct withdrawals. You got direct deposit. My paycheck, my school paycheck, will be deposited tomorrow. This is an early month. This is the last one on last year. The next one I get in September will be for this coming school year that I'm in right now. You get like 13 payments over the course of the year. And so right now we got 7 in the house, 11 likes. It's a slow day. Slow day, about 20, almost 25 minutes in. It might be a slow day, but I'm getting plenty of watch hours, I'll tell you that much. And I'm getting plenty of views, especially on those shorts I've been dropping. The videos haven't been getting that many views, but these shorts, they're all, I'm all knocking good singles with those. It would be nice if it'd go to the second tier. They'd push it out further. But I get to push out, 450 to 500 views, and then it basically shuts down, and then I drop another one. I learned my lesson about dropping this stuff, about dropping 3 or 4 at once, because they'll hit the last one, and the other 2 get very little action. So the way I basically do it is, every 5 or 6 hours I'll check, and if it's at the point where it's like mid 400s, I say, okay, time to drop another one. So today I dropped 3 shorts. 3 shorts. The first 2 are 450 or so. This last one was just under 200 when I started, and I dropped it about an hour ago. So it's, and I keep expecting at some point there will be one that will just blow up. I haven't had that happen, but at some point there'll be one that blows up and just gets tens of thousands, of views. I don't know when that's going to happen. I don't know if it's going to happen, but at some point I think something like that may happen. It would really shock me, and it would really make me feel good. I could go show everybody, hey, I just had one with this many views. And like on TikTok, I know kids in their 20s that do these little TikToks. This is one girl, she's an influencer. She's had several TikToks with 1 million views. And they're making money, doing this. 1 million views for a less than a minute TikTok. I mean, if I ever had one with 1 million views, I'd have a heart attack. Oh, and when you get one of these, you'll pick up 10,000, 15,000 subscribers on that 1 million view TikTok. You'll pick up 15,000 subscribers. I get most of my subscribers from my live streams. I get a few here and there from my shorts. Like it'll say, oh, well, this short you gained 2 new subscribers, or this short you gained 1 new subscriber. Mr. Whistle, how's it going, Mr. Whistle? Thank you for coming. So as I had said earlier, I went on Amazon and I have Prime, and I ordered 2 5-packs of Hormel Completes. I bought the variety packs. So I got 2 separate variety packs with like 10 different flavors. One of the variety packs of 5, I paid $15 for. The other variety pack of 5, I paid $10 for. So for 10 Hormel Completes, different flavors, I paid a total of $25, which means that they average about $2.50 a piece, and that's delivered. I get free delivery. So, and it's a good meal, especially if you're putting it with crackers. Walter Davis, my friend. Been a while since you stopped in. Appreciate you always. I listened to one of you had one, you titled it like something like Boys with Big Toys or something. And you did about an 8-minute rant. I listened to the whole thing, and I really enjoyed it. For those of you who are here that do not know Walter Davis is up in the Northeast. He is a very good man. He is a very intelligent man, and he puts out some good content. He's got some very good opinions. I would encourage you to connect with him if you have not done so, if you don't know him. And I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. Likewise, oh, and Melinda, I just thought of this. Your daughter came on last night. I was going to give her a standard moderator again. I forgot, and then I thought. I said, "Wait a second now. I've seen this one here several times before. Why doesn't she have standard moderator?" And then, like the light bulb, the light bulb went off and said, "Wait a second now. This is Melinda's daughter, and she does not want me to give her standard moderator." So I caught myself. And, I personally, I try to give just about, if you're not a troll, I try to give you standard moderator. But it was funny. They are good. They are tasty. They're like a retort pouch. They are plastic. You can peel. It's got a peel seal. You can peel it back to vent it and then microwave it for 60 seconds. Or you can leave it sealed and put it in a pot of hot water and let it heat up for a few minutes. And and you'll have a hot one. You peel off the cover. It's in a little bowl. It's already in a little plastic bowl. And throw away after you finish. Just chunk it. One of those with a few crackers makes a meal. They are worth trying for $2.50, and also they're shelf stable. You can keep them for, you don't want them in the heat and you don't want them in the sunlight, but you put them in the pantry, and for for emergency planning. They're not very big. They're only 8 ounces. I buy them by the case, different flavors, and they are really good. Now, if I want to enhance it, I basically take out a pouch of rice, and I'll do a pouch of rice. I put, heat a pouch of rice for 90 seconds, and then I pour the rice out, and then I'll put the Hormel Complete over the rice. So then I've got rice and whatever flavor of Hormel Complete I've gotten, and it's a good meal. They're a good meal. I mean, you can fill yourself up on that with the rice, with the Hormel Complete, and some crackers. Trust me, you'll be full. All right, Uncle Al, you got the floor. What 3 events? Are you talking about the coronal mass ejection, or are you talking about that hurricane that might be heading towards Florida? What's the yeah, that people want to know. First event is the hurricane. Yep, I got that one right. Ernesto, I got that one. Second one might be a coronal mass ejection or something. What's the second one, Uncle Al? He's keeping us in suspense. Well, that's heading towards Florida. It's probably going to knock the mess out of Cuba, and then it'll be heading towards Florida. Hey, Prepper Book Club, hello, welcome. You're about to get bingo on your SHTF card. That's a good one. That is a good one. Oh, you got a sense of humor, young lady. Oh, that's a good one. Oh, you make me laugh. Second event is the lunar cycle and the sun on the 19th of August. Lunar cycle and the sun, I guess an eclipse, maybe? Strange tides. mm. Third was probably World War III heating up. I don't know. I'm having a Pepsi Zero from my Taco Bell. All right, Uncle Al, what's number 3? All right, Uncle Al, waiting for number 3. Drum roll, please, keeping us in suspense. 14 in the house, 13 likes. Please, if you would like to support the channel, be greatly appreciated. Third event is earthquake, volcano, and sinkholes. Okay. Yeah, I've been seeing some stuff about sinkholes, and I know that there are 4 volcanoes actively going off right now around the world, largely around that what they call the Ring of Fire around the Pacific Basin, the rim where the plates, the tectonic plates, there are like 4 of them. And then they had a scare at Yellowstone. You know, they had a little bit of a scare at Yellowstone. Well, we had Mount St. Helens in 1980, and it actually affected the global, and it wasn't that big. It was big, but it wasn't that big. And it actually affected the temperatures. It lowered the temperature a little bit. It threw up a lot of stuff. It affected, So that's like a cause of climate change. That's climate change. Nature. Hey, I understand, Uncle Al. You got to take better care of yourself. Well, yeah, there are 4 volcanoes actively spewing around the world right now. There are 4 as we speak that are going off. 4 of them. Hello, Idaho Garden Girl. Welcome. So, if something like Yellowstone went off, it would basically probably end civilization. We would go back to the Stone Age. Those of us who survived. That's how big it would be and how destructive it would be. You would lose most of North America. That would be what they call a Teowaki, the end of civilization as we know it. Well, the other thing, um, you got Vladimir Putin Mr. 4 foot tall macho man, and he's threatening to use nukes to defend Russia if anybody from NATO gets involved with this war in Ukraine, which he's struggling. He's really struggling. The Russians are struggling right now, trying to hold off counterattacks by the Ukrainians. The West has been giving them weapons and training to use the weapons, and it is affecting the conflict. So Putin's threatening to use nukes, and like, so we have ballistic missile defenses that we have been developing. Their effectiveness is spotty or questionable. The idea of somebody launching an ICBM and we can knock it down before it detonates, or we can prevent it from hitting us. We have interceptors, and they may be fairly effective, but we don't have that many interceptors. So the idea is, the two biggies that we have to worry about are Russia and China. So if Russia and China were to launch against us, we really couldn't stop them. But North Korea, as small and they're just developing the ICBM, and as small of an arsenal as they would have, we could probably knock down most, if not all, of whatever North Korea would send at us. And the other thought is that North Korea would be the one stupid enough to launch. I don't believe China would be stupid enough to launch against us, because they would know that they would basically destroy their own, and they would basically destroy communism. And the way communism works is that communism is patient, and they say they're going to win if it takes them 1,000 years. So they want the long game. They're not going to try to take it all at once. They might try to take Taiwan all at once, but they're not going to try to take it all at once, and they're not going to risk a nuclear exchange, because we are stronger than them, and we will do more. They may get us, but we'll get them. Now, Russia, I don't know. I don't know. That's that one right there is a wild card. But you look at scriptures, you read scriptures, and you read Revelations, and you read some of the prophets in the Old Testament, and they talk about end of days and things that will happen. And the idea of God has to intervene, or the Lord has to intervene, or there would be no flesh saved alive, or like 1/3 will be wiped out. I mean, if there were 9 billion people in the world, that would be like 3 billion people. Or if there's 7.5 billion people in the world, that'd be 2.5 billion people. The population of the United States is about 350 million. And in a conflict, it would be the first world countries, the old world countries, that would be the ones that would be hit. I mean, I don't think anything in South America would be hit. I don't think anything in Central America. Well, they might hit the Panama Canal, but that's about it. Um, I don't think anything in Africa would be hit. Maybe Cairo, Egypt. I don't know. There would be a lot of places that you wouldn't have any, you know, you wouldn't, you would, a lot of places you wouldn't have any nukes. Wheat, how you doing, Wheat? Thank you for coming. My friend Wheat, who is a very good artist. If you are not connected with Wheat, you need to connect with his channel. He puts out excellent art. He's got a good sense of humor. He's very funny. Good man. I encourage you to connect with him. Levin in the house. 15 likes. "48 minutes in." Yeah, they filmed most of the scenes for the Lord of the Rings trilogy, The Hobbit. That's all that scenic stuff that you saw. That was largely New Zealand. Largely, it doesn't have a lot of population. Yeah, there are people who are have money going there buying up stuff. New Zealand, Australia. The Philippines would be a nice place to live. Very friendly people. They speak English. They have two languages. Um, they used to belong to the United States. Thousands of islands. Very, their standard of living is not near as high as we are. So if you're one of those expats that's got money, you go over there, you live like a king. Hello, Harold Bush. You got to chat multiple times around me. I miss a lot. I'm talking, I'm not paying attention. All right, you are now a standard moderator. Harold Bush. 10 in the house. 16 likes. Please, if you would like to support the channel. Going over statistics again, I am 13 short when I started this. 13 short of 1,700 subscribers. When Mr. Lynn hit 17, oh, just picked up one. I am 12 short of 1,700 subscribers. When Mr. Lynn hits 1,700, and he stays that way for at least 24 hours, I will identify the last five videos, and I'll do a count to see who left me a comment on each of the last five. Comment and like, please. Supportive comments on the last five. And if you are one of those people, your name will go in a hat, which I will draw from. I'll tape it to show you how it goes. And then you will win the goodie box. And it will be a good goodie box. It'll also have a nice first aid kit in it. So according to Uncle Al, this weekend there are 3 SHTF opportunities. The hurricane that may be heading towards Florida. What were the other two? Oh man, there was a Red Dawn type movie where New Zealand gets taken over by China. Not very encouraging. I don't know. Yeah, that was what I was thinking, a CME. A coronal mass ejection from the sun affects the atmospherics, can knock out and damage some, electrical. They're starting to shield for that, and they've got some pretty effective shielding. They're trying to shield for the idea of an EMP from a blast from a nuke. Joseph Moore, my friend. Lunar solar event. Okay, a lunar solar event. Yeah. Anytime he doesn't seriously hurt himself when he falls, it's a soft landing. But I tell you, I posted a short of it. I got one of President Biden's style of ice creams. I went to Baskin Robbins, and I got a cherry ice cream, a double dip, and they hooked me up. It was a huge one. And I was always jealous of Biden because he'd get those ice creams, and hell, I'd order a 3-scoop one, and it wouldn't be as big as his. It's like, well, damn, they really hook them up. Oh, the third event will be a White House press conference. Well, that'd be a blue moon. That would be a blue moon, all right. I think Kamala Harris is in that basement that Biden used the last election cycle when he hit out and he reportedly won the election. I think she's pulling the same thing. She's not really... They're putting out information for her. But the thing is that a lot of her... One of the reasons she didn't do too well in the previous cycle when she actually ran for president is that she puts out so much word salad, and that cackle of a laugh of hers They're really nailing her with all the impersonators, that are doing impersonations of her. She sounds like an idiot. Well, in real life, she sounds like an idiot. And also, a lot of her exes and people that she screwed are starting to come out. And she had, if you say back in the day, Trump was immoral because he liked women. Well, she she has a lot of mileage on her too, so I wouldn't be talking. But a lot of that stuff is coming out. Everything's fine. Start writing it that way. Okay. Okay, that's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one. Yes, we are. I will tell you, like the idea of it's like a circuit breaker, or it's like a fuse. The idea being that if there's a massive jolt or a massive amount of energy, it trips the fuse, it burns the fuse, and it saves the what's beyond the fuse. So the idea of being able to protect against a CME or an EMP or whatever you want to call it is that there's stuff in place that will take the hit and protect what's down the line. I put on my solar, I've got a fuse. So if there was to be a massive amount of power come through beyond what it's rated for, it will burn that fuse and prevent it from getting to my batteries or getting to my controller or getting to, it will protect what's down the line. It'll keep from burning all that. And that's what they're trying to do and what they're wanting to do with the power grid. They've been separating out sections of the grid so that if part of the grid went down or something happened to the grid, it would separate, so it wouldn't bring down the entire grid. It'd bring down a section of the grid, but it would disconnect that damaged section from the rest of the grid to prevent it from coming down. And they're working on that. They are working on that. They're working on that. Texas can pull the plug on the western and the eastern grids so that they would not bring Texas down. Texas has its own grid. You know, Texas is getting ready. Texas is going to be developing its own stock exchange. Texas has its own gold reserves. You know, Texas is putting in place what it needs to have in place to basically become an independent republic. You know, and very quietly. And there is also a Republic of Texas movement that meets, and there have been a couple of occasions when they came very close to really pulling the plug and going for it. Back when Clinton was president, and again when Obama was president, they they really got pissed off and came real close. You know, and Texas was a republic. It's the only state that has the right to fly its flag at the same height as the U.S. flag. Um, it would be the superpower on the North American continent if it did become an independent nation. Take care, Uncle Al. Appreciate you coming in. 10 in the house. Hello, Holly Ivans. $18 likes. Please leave a like to support the channel. It will be greatly appreciated. Well, there's actually a portion of California. There are some counties in California. Well, like, all of those nut states on the West Coast, they've got some rural counties that are very conservative, not as much population, that would like to leave the state and either become an independent state or join with a more conservative state right next door to it. And they're desperate to keep those. Well, Texas is working on it. But also, you get in a situation where they're having to try to build some border along the New Mexico border with Texas. They're building some border there. They're putting up Constantina, and they're trying to, you know. New Mexico has the highest percentage of Hispanics as far as population of states in the country. You think about it. Think about it. What are your thoughts, Walter? Please make a comment. I always appreciate your thoughts. There are a lot of people moving out of blue states because of taxes, because of crime, because of high cost of living in general, because of, they're just overrun, and they're moving to red places. The businesses, a lot of the corporations are moving out. Well, there's a bunch of them. They're trying to bring us down to the level of a lot of the rest of the world, lower, expectations. They're trying to bring us down there so they can basically incorporate us into a global system, a global a union. They want a global union, but we are a little bit more. We're a little bit higher up than they want us to be. They want to dumb us down. They want to. They want to make it more possible that they can do that. I think Texas has to close the border and get very tough on crime before they try to separate. I agree. We need the border wall. We need to be deporting. We need to increase the size of the guard. We need to keep a good number of them active. I also think that we need to be cleaning up our big cities. I mean, I would send them into New York. Into Houston. I'd send them into Houston. I'd send them into Dallas. I'd send them into Austin. I'd give the place a good enema. They need a good enema. Clean out all the crap. They're trying to eliminate the middle class, yes? Yes. They are trying to. Well, this isn't nice, but I sort of see where they're going to have to use force. They're going to have to use force. If a lot of them start getting dealt with, word will get around. Don't come and try to mess around with Texas because they'll shoot you. Don't mess with Texas. Like the ad, don't mess with Texas. Well, if they go back to the way things used to be where they'd shoot looters and they would shoot these socialist protester types, if they go back to the old days, yeah. Yeah, crime has to be dealt with. I have said that if you put me in charge, we would not have an overcrowding problem in prison. I would take care of it. You're going to release all those people? Well, I'll release the bodies if somebody wants to claim them. Yeah, I'll release those people. I'll release their burden. But I will never be in that kind of position. I would never be in that position to do that. No, it's not as red as it used to be because of all the BS. But I would think with a good purge and, good deportations. And I would be deporting people whose grandparents were illegal. I'd be deporting them. Just because you come in here and you have your kid, you're born here or you whatever, that doesn't mean you're a citizen. I'm sorry. Most countries around the world don't allow you to, I came and my child was born in this country, so my child's a citizen of this country. Nope. And that's another thing that they're going to be voting on probably in the next Congress if they get things established the way we want to, is this business about, birth citizenship. No. Nope. Got to get rid of that. God, I hope not. The other thing is it comes down to a point where, and I'm sure the algorithm's going crazy with me right now. It's coming down to the point where, here's one. You're one person, or you're a couple, and you work, and you get paid, and you go deposit, cash or check, whatever, and 5 or 6 people in a group come up and take your money. There's more of them. They're stronger than you are. Perhaps they're armed, and they take your money. Now that's considered a crime. Okay. Well, you work, and you pay your bills, and you go deposit your money, and a bunch of lowlives that outnumber you vote, well, we want that money. There's more of us. Our party has more people. We want that money. We're going to take that money. You're going to have to give us that money legally. It's at that point. I think in the scriptures it talks about the Lord saying that 1 would chase 10, 10 would chase 100, and 100 would chase 1,000. I think it's at that point where we need to be chasing some of these people out of here. and I'm paraphrasing scriptures, but that was Old Testament. The idea that if the Lord was fighting for you, you could be fighting a much greater number and you would still win because the Lord fought for you, you know? So I think, that's definitely something I would consider and think about. Yeah, that may be the case. Well, like as an example, Arnold Schwarzenegger is very popular. Um, his ancestry is he says Austrian, but his ancestry is German because Austria used to be part of Germany. It's part of the greater German nation, and so he was born in Europe. He was a European, came over, lived here, became a citizen. He became governor of California, ran as a governor in a Democrat state, blue state, but he was the Terminator, and they voted for him based on, he was a badass. So you can't be foreign born, a non citizen who becomes a citizen. So, like Elon Musk, if Elon Musk decided, well, I want to run for president, he can't. He was born in he was a South African. And he wound up in Canada, and then he wound up here, and so, and he may have dual citizenship, but he can't because he's not an American. So some of these people that you might think, well, they're popular enough. Well, and the other thing is, Schwarzenegger would be too old to run anyway, and he's got too many issues and all, and he wouldn't. He's too old, But you take somebody who was younger, very popular, but they weren't born here. They couldn't. Now, they could be a senator. They could be in Congress. They could be secretary of something. They could be a governor. But they can't run for president or vice president. That's the law. You think about it. You have to think about it. It is what it is. So this is Wednesday, second day of school. I will continue to put out shorts. I'm closing in on 1,700. Quicker I get there, the quicker somebody gets the goodie box. Make sure that you've left me a like and a supportive comment on the last 5 videos I will have released. Now, like I said, I released one, was it yesterday? I released a little short video yesterday that was a video. And I put in the description of all my videos what you need to do to qualify to be in the drawing. I may release another one between now and 1,700 because I got 13 to go and it may be a few days, and I sneak one in, to Uncle Al, or I sneak one in to Dave, my friend the Yoda. I'm gonna be sending some follow-up boxes of stuff, extra stuff, and prepping stuff to a bunch of people I've already sent stuff to, modified. Hello, Michaela. You're coming in on the tail end of this one, but I'm happy to have you come in. $12 in the house, 18 likes. Please leave a like to support the channel. It will be greatly appreciated. So when I started, I was sitting at 1,687. Right now, I'm sitting at 1,688. I am 12 short of 1,700. About 21K views. 21,000 views is a lot of views for the cycle. Not where I want to be, but I'm getting close. I mean, if there's 28 days in the cycle, and I get 1,000 views a day, that's 28K. I'd like to be 28 to 30K if I can, hit that where I'm 1,000 plus, a little over 1,000. Do a couple of shorts, 450 or so each one. Live stream with over 100. I mean, that's doable for me. And working on it. Likewise, my watch time is down. I was averaging about 600, a little over 600 hours of watch time. I had some equipment issues recently. Went for several days, about 10 days where I didn't do much until I got my new gear in. So it's coming back up. I'm at 487 right now. Yesterday's live was a little, I don't know, here lately my lives haven't been as many people. 65 viewers in my live yesterday. The video I released yesterday has 28 views, about 20 comments. My shorts, they're running right now. I had my Nachos Bel Grande that I released 2.5 hours ago is right at 500 views. And the one that I released, the pot roast one, which I released about 8 hours ago, has 430 views. And there was another one, my taquito one, which I released about 14 hours ago, real early this morning. It has 535 views. So right now I'm sitting at about 1,400 or so views for the day. And it varies. It ups and downs on my, where I'm at and what I'm doing. I would not do it without you guys or with the algorithm helping me. It shuts me down after, I get to 500 views, it shuts me down. I had one a few days ago, it was 535 views, shuts me down. Sometimes I get them in a hurry. Like I said, I did one a couple hours ago and it's got 490 views already. But I'm sure it's slowing down. And that's the algorithm. It doesn't keep boosting me out. Yeah, that's true, Enrique. Yeah. There are a lot of people who tell you they're woke, And I used to, when I didn't know what it was, I said, well, I woke up this morning, so I guess I'm woke. I'm awake. I'm not that kind of woke, but I'm awake. I know what's going on. I have most of my mind. Food, forest, permaculture, my friend. How are you doing, Howie? I have noticed that if I go into certain live streams, like the day that I'm going to do a live myself, if I go into certain live streams and I hit 2 or 3 people, say hello to them, they'll show up and some of their friends will show up in my live stream. So I've had live streams recently where I have 300 views, Now, my snapshot was like the other couple of weeks ago, I guess. And I had several in a row. My snapshot said 302. And then the next day it said 280. But the idea is, let's say I had 280. It's a lot more than 65. So what's going on, I don't know. Also, it depends what day I have it. Like I do one on a Saturday, I get a lot more views and viewers than if I do it during the week. You know. So a lot I think has to do with when am I doing it. That has a lot to do with things. Yes, my best to you, Food Forest. Appreciate you, Howie. If y'all are not subscribed to Food Forest Permaculture, he is a whisperer when it comes to nature. When it comes to plants and nature, gardening, being out, he puts out great stuff. He's a whisperer. Likewise, you want to learn about gardening, you want to learn about aquaculture, you want to learn about fruit trees, Idaho Garden Girl's your girl. You know, she's a retired educator. She worked in the college system. Take care, Black Widow. Appreciate you. So, I appreciate everybody who came in this evening. Everybody, when you get up in the morning, thank God for the day. Say the Lord's Prayer. Drink your coffee. Take your medication, if you take medication. Contemplate the day. Think about what's going on. Make lists. Be prepared. The Scout motto, be prepared. Prepare for stuff. Don't get caught flat-footed. Treat people the way you want to be treated. Watch your diet. Drink plenty of water, liquids. Don't abuse yourself with pollutants. And life is good, but it is what it is. Lead by example. A good leader has to be a good follower. Everybody, I appreciate you. And when I speak from the heart. I'm not lying. I give you my opinion for what it's worth. It doesn't cost you anything. I appreciate it when you contact me. Some people will email me. I put my email in all my videos. Send me your phone number if you want me to call you. I'll text you. It'll probably be on the weekend. I'll text you first, and if you want to talk, we can talk, or if you want to text, we can text, or if you just want to email, we can email. I don't give out information that you don't want given out. I don't tell people where you live. I won't tell people your actual name, your Christian name. You want to go by whatever. And everybody, please have a blessed day. And we'll see you tomorrow, hopefully, for another edition of Coffee Talk. Bye.